Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to Everquest, a series I'm calling Juke Box Heroes, which will soon become apparent soon if it's not already apparent to those who have experience with Everquest. And of course, I am Terry Candlestick. Now this right here you're seeing is the tutorial that was added some time ago, I forget when. And it's helped a lot of new people come to the game, and it's added a nice little component to the beginning of the game. And it's also given you a lot of nice new gear. And provides a really good tutorial for everyone on how to run through the game. So right here I'm actually typing out I want to escape. I don't need to do that. I know I did just type it out, but I had typed out I want to escape. But really, and I'll demonstrate a little later, you don't have to do that in the game. You can just click the yellow text. And you'll see a quick jump, I think. I'm checking all my stuff. Yeah, there it is. It's a big jump. It's probably because my internet's bad. The unfortunate reality of having satellite internet. This music is very well known, and oh, you're going to hear something very, very common to Everquest, and actually defined a lot of my early video game life. That ding right there, that's the level up ding. So probably from now on you'll hear me just go ding every time I level up or in a different game, such as RuneScape, old school RuneScape with Nev and Finn, or any other games. If you hear me go ding, that's where it came from, Everquest. So I'm just gonna spend some time arranging this, so I'll actually cut this part out, and we'll be back when I've got it all back together. Okay, it looks like I finally got everything together. I've got my mouse sensitivity to where I like it. I know how to bring up the quest journal. I got the cat, my toolbox, ready. I got all of his skills so he can follow me and he can assist me in combat. And now we're just going to start with the quests. So we're going to go around, talk to all these different NPCs that would tell you how to play the game if you're a new player. So first thing here with Crescent is trait skills. The trait skills are all pretty much the same in this game. Oh, and over here I have the tip window. I do want to bring up to this. If y'all want to read them, you can read them. I don't need them because I've played this game for, like I said, years and keep coming back to it. But here we are, rat sticks. So I do have recipes. Sometimes you have to get the recipes from like a book or something, then it'll add it to it. Or you can experiment, and I think once you've experimented, they'll add it to your recipe list. If, you know, what you experiment turns out to be something. So right now, the cat is doing the same thing. But like I said, all trait skills are pretty much the same in this game. You go up to some device, you look for the recipes, and if you can't, you just probably look online, find out what the recipe is, do an experiment, and then try to make it, and then you'll have the recipe and can just look it up in the guide again. And the more you do the recipes, the more you do the trade skill, the better you get at them. Just like in pretty much any MMO game. And the benefit with cooking and brewing is that you already need food and you already need weapons. If you don't have food, you'll stop regenerating health. If you don't have drink, then you will stop regenerating mana. You won't starve to death, but if you get hurt, you're not going to regain your health at all without magic. So you always need food, and the benefit with this food is when you make your own food and you have nice meals, they can give you benefits. And they give you, pluses to they give you extra health, give you extra mana, they give you additions to your stats in addition to all your gear, so it actually helps a whole lot. So here, Raitan is going to show us how to use magic. And he wants us to be blessed, so there I am just clicking the light blue text, and he gave me a buff. It's like down in the lower right hand corner, effects window, and gave me a spell, Spack of Disease, the very first one. The very first one the Shadow Knight gets. And actually, spells were different for Shadow Knights back in the day. When the game was early and just came out, they didn't start getting spells or any magic at all, except for Harm Touch, until level 9. So these are a recent update to the game. Up until that point, you were just kind of a shitty warrior, because their stats just aren't as good. Like when you go into the game program, they're just not as good. They don't hit as often, and they don't wear their armor as well, so the defense is not as good. Just everything that the Shadow Knight and the Paladin, the Ranger do, for the most part, the Warrior does better when it comes to this physical combat. That was a Manker. Shows us having to put our stuff in, or tells us about it. Here's a Merchant. Right click on them and they'll give us a nice big window. You can just buy, sell. The achievements are something new they added recently too. And also it's kind of weird how they have some of these tasks inside of this main task. Was that basic training? Some of them are a separate quest. Others aren't, but I think when they're a separate quest you get a little more. It's not just, hooray, you ticked off a part of this larger quest. This one will actually give us an actual reward. There we go. And reward, in this case, we get to choose either experience or money. And I probably should have chosen experience in this one, because experience is slow going here for some reason. But I think I went with silver. What's equal to 10 gold. Everything is 10. All the coin is by 10 increments. So you get 10 copper, you get a silver, you get 10 silver, you got a gold, you got 10 gold, you got a platinum, you got 10 platinum. Well, there's nothing above platinum, so you just have 10 platinum. And you just keep going up. Here's map, so you can see me backing up so I can just get the cat there and we can both try to do it. And I'm just trying to be quick about it because it's just a tutorial. We're just talking to the NPCs here just to get the bare minimum stuff that they'll give us and then move on to the game. You know, I'm reading this now and I noticed she wanted me to do something for her. I did not catch that. I just hailed her and moved on. There's a barrel that has mushrooms around it. I was supposed to go get a mushroom and bring it to her, but I didn't read it and I didn't do that. I thought I just needed to hail her. Whoops. Sorry. I'll take care of that next time. Well, I guess I should talk to you about the weapons now. You saw that this changed from a regular old short sword to a sharpened short sword. And there are weapons you don't really see anymore in the game. Those, like, they do exist in the game, you just don't see them very often. Those are rusty weapons and tarnished weapons. And way back in the day, all you would ever get off of monsters were rusted weapons. You go kill a skeleton running around, you get a rusty weapon off of it. Get a rusty sword, rusty mace, rusty dagger. And usually you couldn't do anything about those. I mean, they were just fodder. You just gave them to you sold them off to the merchants, and they gave you a few silver and send you on your way. But now you hardly ever see them unless you go into like an old area. Everything else is just normally what you would see something drop. You attack a drake and it drops some scales and a little bit of flesh. You attack a skeleton, it actually drops a legit short sword. It's not rusted. At least in the new area that we'll see in a long time. So that was the soul binder. Soul binding in this game is it's basically where you will be resurrected. There's only one spot you can be resurrected at a time, and you will be resurrected wherever your soul is bound. And if your soul's not bound somewhere, you just go to your home. I think right now, if I were to die right now, in this game, not in real life, in this game, I think I would just go, well, I'd probably just appear right back in front of Arius. The Worn Totem is actually something really cool. It's actually a really good prize for really good reward, because that gives you a speed buff. And speed buff we commonly know as Spirit of the Wolf. Gives you really good speed buff. There you go. I don't think it's quite twice as fast with the actual spell for like half an hour to an hour, but it's a good amount. So Valara here is a armor missions giver and more like a item receiver, and she'll trade you stuff. Mostly cloth armor, which is all garbage for a Shadow Knight. Not really good for a rogue either, because they wear chainmail. But yeah, she's pretty good. And her race is called the Vashir. She's the cat girl in Everquest. Apparently it came from the moon, before the moon was brought into the game. You know, it's like as a place you could visit. There were no cat people, there were no Vashir. They're like, I think the 3rd expansion pack. Way early. So I just realized that while Commode has this quest done, the cat doesn't. So we have to go back and talk to him again for the cat, because I screwed up. I think he got blessed, but he didn't actually do all the talking to the right hand that he was supposed to do. So I didn't talk about what the cat is. The cat is a dark elf. And if you don't know, or you haven't figured out by now, Everquest is very heavily based on Dungeons and Dragons. And the dark elves are, you guessed it, evil. The trolls are also evil, and so that works really well. They can hang out together, they can go to the same places, and pretty much everyone who's evil is going to like both these characters. Anyone who's good is going to hate both these characters. It makes it a little more difficult to run around and get anyone that you need to get to a place you need to get. Such as if you have a quest in a good city or a neutral city and you walk in, then, well, guess what? Everyone's going to try to kill you. So here is swimming. And swimming is also one of these skills that can be improved upon. I am not beneath just setting my character to walk around, to swim around on the surface of the water, and then just setting it to do that automatically and just walking away for an hour and coming back to see my swim skill at like 40 something. I've done that before, and I'll do it again. Don't worry, I don't promise to not subject you to that. You may very well just have a video come up that is nothing but improving our swimming, and it's just Commode and the cat just swimming in interlocking circles for an hour. I might put some nice relaxing music over it. Just one of those put in the background. Listen and just enjoy this nice relaxing music as you hear splash. If you want to hear that, go ahead. I don't know what the hell that was. There, no, he's got his. He's gonna follow again, and we can keep going. Polak or Poxan was not a required quest, but I do like the little bit of armor they gave us. And he gave like, was it just 1 health or 2 armor class? I think. I'm not sure. But here's a new improvement in the game. I think they came around, well, actually I have no idea if they came around the same time as the tutorial here, but mercenaries. They take up another slot in your group list. I think this became a thing. As you can see there, I got Sunana. I think they became a thing mostly because the population of players and the player base in Everquest just dropped significantly after a while as the competition for MMOs came and increased. And eventually they decided they needed to do something because there just wasn't enough people. People couldn't make alts and play because it is fundamentally a game where, for the most part, you're supposed to have groups. You're supposed to interact with other people. And without that, without the other people, this game becomes very hard at the upper levels. A Shadow Knight with his mercenary can actually get up into the 40s, maybe 50s, without having too much of a problem. He just has to be careful where he goes. It helps with me, with Commode rather, being a troll, because trolls have better regeneration. It's part of the reason I chose the race. And here he goes. This is how we're gonna fight. We attack. And Decat, he chose another tank class, so they'll do some damage. Later on, he's gonna be switched to a. I intend to switch him over to a spellcasting class. So a spellcasting damage dealer. Now these were in the tutorial Gloomingdeep Mines, where all the spell merchants are. So my guy right here. I just have another little There's my internet strikes again. I was looking over everything here, blah, 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 blah. The forlorn bow. Bone Walk is actually the spell that the Shadow Knight gets to have their first. Oh, no, wait, no, it's Leering Corpse is the first one. You can see Siphon Strength, that takes strength away from the target and gives it to the Shadow Knight. Disease Cloud does some damage, and then it's damage over time. So I just learned that, and put that over here. You can see this little purple bar at the bottom of the book. How long? Yeah, there it is. I'm just looky here. It's how long it takes to actually memorize it. If you haven't played Dungeons and Dragons, a big part of the game for spellcasters is memorizing all the spells that you're going to use at the beginning of the day. And if you don't have to memorize spells because you're like a sorcerer that has spells just naturally, you still need to meditate to just kind of get your mind at ease and you know, in the zone, I guess. So I just took off show only items I can use, so you can see all these tombs or tomes. The cat already has Throwstone. Tome of Throwstone. A lot of these are for Berserker, which I haven't played either. I think I played it once, way back in the day before a lot of changes came. Back when it was the old school Everquest that I remember. I don't really remember if Shadow Knights and Paladins and other hybrid classes could actually use these tombs. Or the tomes. Yeah, tomb. They're tomes, Harry. Get it right. But right now, the cat is with that merchant right there, so he's getting his tome of Elbow Strike. I don't think I've even learned how to use the Tome of Throw Stone yet with the cat. Oh, and once we reach level 20, probably some of these names like the cat will become a little more apparent in what they mean. Because the last names, unlike some games like Final Fantasy XIV, you don't get them right away. In Everquest, you had to wait until level 20 to get your last name. And they call them surnames. It wasn't until level 20 you would get your surname. You could pick it out and had to get approved. Couldn't be anything offensive. You'd be dropping F-bombs and N-words and other racial slurs and profanities. I've seen some real nice bangers too. I've seen someone named Adil Pickle. Adil Pickle. Actually, where I got the idea for having fruit names for some of my characters. That's why you have a Gala apple. Because a Gala is a type of apple. Cara navel orange it's a type of orange. It's a navel orange, so it's typically a Cara navel orange. So, shout out to Adil Pickle for giving me the idea. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode, and we will be doing more later on. But until then, let's get everything situated. See ya, everyone. Bye.